Luka freaking Doncic. Hi everyone, this is Spectator Sports. We just saw an epic game-winning shot from Luka Doncic. Before we get into breaking down Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, please do us a massive favor to help Spectator Sports grow. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let's get into breaking down Game 2. After 2 games, the Dallas Mavericks lead 2-0 in a best-of-7 series, winning both games in Minnesota. Minnesota has led for 73 minutes, while the Mavericks have only led for 15. After trailing as much as 18 points in the second quarter, the Mavs slowly cut a deficit down to 12 points, and then another third quarter run, they cut the deficit down to 7 heading into the fourth quarter. Luka and Kyrie yet again were magical, especially in the second half. Kyrie was slow in the first half but picked it up in the third quarter, making timely threes, hitting deep threes, getting into the lane, constantly beating Anthony Edwards off the dribble and getting into the paint at will. Stan Van Gundy said that this backcourt of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are the best ever in NBA history, and it may be a little bit too early to crown them with that type of designation, but it's definitely a very worthy claim. These two guys have the ability to create their own shot. They can shoot off the dribble, they can get into the paint, they have the ability to shoot from three-point range, and they can create for others as well. We've seen both of them set up lob passes to Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively at different times. They can kick it out to their shooters like Derek Jones Jr. or PJ Washington, and they've just been able to mirror each other's production. Remember back in Cleveland when Kyrie was with the Cavaliers that he worked with LeBron James very well. In fact, in that epic Game 5, with each of them put up 41 points, they complemented each other to perfection. And we're seeing a similar kind of skill set with Luka Doncic now. Maybe Luka is not as athletic as LeBron, of course, but both of them have very similar skill sets there. And it's just so impressive, the fact that both of them can do this on a consistent basis and they can close ball games makes them so lethal. There was a time where I saw Kyrie that he completely lost possession of the ball but somehow was able to regain it and then re-lob the pass to Derek Lively for a very integral alley-oop pass. And of course Derek Lively smashed it in home, and it equated to a pivotal basket for the Mavericks. Whenever the Mavericks can keep the ball game close, I always feel like they can get the job done. You have to blow this team out of the water for them to be out of the game. And the Minnesota Timberwolves just haven't had that knockout punch, just like they did against the Denver Nuggets for 2 ball games where they completely blew Denver off the court. In both games, Game 1 and Game 2, they held significant double-digit leads, 18 like I said in the second game, but again, the Mavericks have the ability to chip away at these leads, and I wouldn't call these collapses. I just feel like both Luka and Kyrie have just let the game figure themselves out. They let the game come to them and then they just turn it on late. And yet again, there was a big sequence late where while Kyrie missed 2 key free throws and then Ant made 2 to give them a 5-point lead with about 90 seconds left, Kyrie didn't blink at all. He made a corner 3-pointer to get the lead down to 2. They got a stop. Now, that was a little bit controversial because they fouled him. It definitely looked like it, but Jaden McDaniels clearly lost the ball out of bounds and the challenge went the Mavericks' way. And I feel that replay, if you're getting a chance to review it, you should just get the overall call right. Now, there's many aspects to replay. The initial challenge was just ruling the ball out of bounds, but it completely ignores the fact that there was a foul or not. I feel like replay, like I said, should just be getting the call right, and we should be reviewing all aspects of any given play. But getting back to the game, the Mavericks yet again executed late game perfection, and on the final sequence, they got a stop by Anthony Edwards throwing the ball out of bounds. It just looked like he was trying to hit Nas Reed in the corner, but Nas was drifting more towards the elbow and the ball just sailed out of bounds. Mavericks ball. Final sequence for offense, Mavericks get the ball to Luka, and Luka is seeking out a switch. Derek Lively comes to the top of the key. He gets Jaden McDaniels to switch onto him. That's a big mistake because that leaves Rudy Gobert to guard Luka Doncic. We know Rudy Gobert has been great protecting the rim, but he is a sitting duck when it comes to guarding on the perimeter. Luka toyed with him, he made him dance, laughed a little bit, did a step back jump shot, game winner, 3 seconds left. Rudy Gobert just looked completely lost. You need to give him Google Maps to find Luka Doncic on the court because it just looked like he had no idea where Doncic was going. Doncic had probably the biggest, coldest moment I've ever seen after initially coming into the postseason with that game winner against the LA Clippers. This was probably his best game winner since. He's just so cold. He talked all the trash that he wanted, very validly so. Just let Gobert hear it and held it up on the defensive end. They got a very clean look, the Timberwolves did, by Nas Reed, and he was hot throughout the whole night, but it just didn't go in. It was a fraction off and could have very easily gave them the win, but it just rattled out. And now the Mavs get a 2-0 series lead, winning both games on the road in Minnesota.